What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Why am I looking up there? I should be looking in here at the camera. My name is Marie. If you are new here, welcome, and welcome back if you are not new. Now, before I really get into this video here, I just want to apologize in advance if you hear any noise or there's any types of disturbances in this video, because I don't have the freedom of having my own place, my own space to record like I used to. So there are people downstairs in the house, and you know, it makes things a little bit more challenging because one, you don't want people to hear all your business that you're recording, and two, there's also the noise factor. So I'm apologizing now. But I am now 6 weeks in, moving back to London, where I was born, from Toronto, where I spent most of my time. And even though in my last week's video, I was talking about structure, that I was creating my days for some sense of normalcy, I thought in this video I would share what I have learned in the 6 weeks that I've been here at the ripe young age of 57, starting over in life. So if you're curious and interested, just keep watching and we'll get into it. So lesson number one, I would say, would be that I've learned is that change can be a little bit messier than you expected. I mean, yes, I had a plan, but we all know things don't go according to plan all the time. And it's been, you know, a lesson in learning to adapt, learning to go with the flow. And honestly, that's totally normal if your plan doesn't work out. Sometimes, you know, in the midst of a mess, beautiful things can happen. Your life can unfold in a beautiful, unexpected way when you're in the midst of a mess. So that's definitely something that I've learned, just to, you know, I might have to deviate from my plan a little bit, but we still keep moving towards our goals and intentions, even when things get a little bit messy. Lord, y'all, I hope that the light doesn't get too dark and I can still finish this video. But moving on, lesson number two is having structure. I found has been important, but I think flexibility is something else that I need to adopt. When I was living in Toronto, I was like, you know, going, busy. I had like, you know, a 9 to 5 and then my weekends off and everything in between that. And I think structure is important for me. It has definitely helped. You know, I get up in the morning and I have like a ritual, a routine, you know, to get my day started. But I've also realized that it can be very easy to slip back into that hustle culture life, which we know is not good for us, where I'm constantly doing things. And I've realized it's okay, Marie, you can take a break. You can take a moment to breathe. You don't need to be like going all the time. This is not the life you came here to live. You came here to slow down, slower living. You know, as somebody who's 57, we certainly don't want to be like rushing around all the time. So I'm finding that I need to find balance. I need to find balance, because just last week I was up till 2 in the morning editing a video, and I'm no girl, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So try to find that balance between having structure, but also giving myself permission to pause and take a break is something that I need to work on. One little Google search helped me find out that I could actually blur the background on my phone, because the room that I'm in, I'm very grateful that I face south, so I get a lot of natural light. But behind me is a bunk bed, not the most sightly thing to look at. So now I can blur my background a little bit and hopefully distract from that. Lesson number 3 is you don't need everything in order to feel grounded. You don't need everything in place. You know, I don't have my own place yet, and I'm not entirely sure exactly when that's going to happen. But that doesn't mean that I can't make the most of where I am. You know, I'm staying with family, and I'm very grateful to have had a soft place to land. And yes, I can feel like you feel like a little bit of a fish out of water, because I'm used to having my own space and being able to do whatever I want. However, it is about adapting and still finding a way to be comfortable, still feel grounded and keep, taking one step at a time, putting one foot in front of the other to get to that place of having my own space. So that's another lesson that I've learned. You don't need everything in place in order to feel grounded in your space. Yes, I know that rhymed. The fourth thing that I've learned, the fourth lesson since being back in London, is that it's important to count the small wins. Yes, this is a big adventure. Yes, I'm still fairly new here. Yes, I'm still finding my way, but it's definitely important to celebrate the small wins. This journey, yes, has been a little bit daunting, a little bit scary at times. I've had days where I'm up and I've had days where I'm down. I think that is just par for the course, and I have to keep reminding myself of that. So I just try to remember the small wins. This past week, I was able to go out to Oxford and visit a new friend for the night, which was out of the city, lots of green space. We had a really nice long walk. So that was an amazing experience for me. I got to see another part of the UK. So I'm grateful for that. My small wins also include all y'all's beautiful comments and the support and encouragement that you've given me. That's definitely something that I never expected and have welcomed. I'm sorry, I'm looking out because I'm seeing two things that look like drones in the backyard. Yes. Not our backyard, the neighbor's backyard. And just small wins like having a nice sunny day when you're kind of in the land and the season of it being cloudy and gray and rainy. That's also something that I'd celebrate. Or just finding like some sort of food item, as trivial, as silly as that might sound, but finding something, a new little food item, a new cafe, little things like that, because those little wins add up and they help keep me going. They help lift my spirits on days where I'm feeling a little ho-hum, where I'm all up in my feels. So yes, celebrating the small wins is definitely an important lesson. Lesson number 5. Now this to me is about rediscovering yourself. When I moved here with like a new attitude. I left my life behind in Toronto and I'm like, yes, we are moving here for slower living, a change of scenery, a fresh start, my reinvention era, as I'm calling it. It's more than just, discovering a new city or country, continent even. It's about discovering who I am now in this phase of life as a 57-year-old. It's about really figuring out what I value, what's important to me, what makes me happy, because as we age, our priorities change, our intentions change, our goals change. So now that I'm in this new chapter, new era, this is definitely a time of discovery for me. And there's no rush. I can take my time with that. Now that I actually really have time to sit back, I don't have any distractions of like a full-time job and, those kinds of, the kind of life stressors that takes a lot of your attention away from what you really want to be focusing on. So yes, this is definitely a time where I can sit down and what do I want to do in my career now? Do I want to work full time now? Do I want to build a new career with a company? Do I want to do my own thing? I'm thinking relationship time now. I haven't had a date in donkey's years. So if it means that I had to move like continents to meet my person, then that would make it worthwhile as well. So it's definitely a time of discovery, and I'm grateful that I have the opportunity and I'm in a position to do that without any of the usual distractions. That's lesson number 5. Lesson number 6, and the final lesson that I'm going to share in this video is, and I mentioned it, I think, in my last video, and it's all about patience. Now, I'm known to be a patient person, but gosh, golly darn it, you know, this is really testing me here. Like, it's like I want to be in my own place. I want to be working, have stability, financial stability. I mean, yes, obviously we prepared in advance for that, but, you know, we want steady income coming in, so we're not, you know, going through our savings. Just patience. It's like I want everything like right now, but I feel like if I came here and everything was tea and crumpets, then I wouldn't really be learning anything new. I wouldn't be stretching myself, you know. This patience requires trusting the process, trusting divine timing, knowing that everything is going to work out at the time that is for my highest and best. And then just, you know, to keep taking action towards my goals, towards the things that I want to manifest. But just know, girl, you got to be patient. You got to let the universe do its thing. And when the time is right for you, your manifestation will show up in your life. So yeah, that's, you know, that's the thing that I have to keep in mind, and that's going to be an ongoing thing, is just, you got to have patience, Marie. You got to just take one day at a time and know that you can't rush or force anything to happen, because that doesn't help the cause. That's not going to help you at all. So just take a breath and breathe, have patience, trust the process, and know that everything is going to work out for my highest and best. Things are being worked out behind the scenes that I have no idea about, and things are in motion. So that patience is probably the biggest lesson, honestly, for somebody who's, you know, starting over. You got to have patience. So that is lesson number 6. So those are the lessons I've learned so far. You know, the highs, the surprises, even like moments of doubts. Because yes, I do wonder, the odd fleeting moment. Did I make the right decision? Fleeting moment. But I'm still grateful for this journey. And, you know, every day is a step forward, a step towards, you know, feeling more settled and, you know, building this new life here in London. So if you are somebody who is, you know, thinking of starting over, just know that honestly, you don't have to have everything planned perfectly. I certainly did not. I mean, obviously, yes, we prepped and planned and prayed. We prayed too. But you don't need to have everything perfectly planned. You kind of got to just let things unfold naturally, because some of the most beautiful things can happen when you just, you know, release, you know, let go of the reins a little bit. Just keep moving towards your goals, have patience, and know that everything will work out in your favor in divine time. So this brings me to the end of this video of some lessons that I've learned so far in my 6 weeks here moving back to London. If you found any value in this video at all, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You know, I'm just here trying to share my journey as I work towards building a brand new life here in London. And I want to hear from you guys. Drop a comment below and let me know if you, what's something that you've learned if you have started over in life. We're building a little community here, and I know a lot of y'all are considering doing this. And, you know, the more information that we can drop, the more comments, tips, whatever it is that, you know, we can share wisdom, the better for all. So I'm going to sign off and say thank you for watching, and I shall see you on the next one.